Hi, my name is Nick Malone. I'm an artist based in London and I run classes for beginners here at the studio. You can always find us on our website londonartclasses.com, and there's also a link to www.londonartclasses.com on the internet page where you are at the moment. We're going to have a look at selecting materials for your collage. Well, the first thing, of course, is what you're going to base the materials on, by which I mean what you're going to attach them to. And you want to make sure that if you're using different materials in collage, that whatever you're sticking them onto is going to be strong enough to support their weight. So you're going to at least have a pretty heavy piece of card, something like this. Now, what about the materials that you're going to use in your collage? Well, there are lots of possible sources. In a way, there are as many different kinds of material for a collage as there are two-dimensional objects in the world. You know, what does it matter what you use? So what you're really thinking about is what your collage is concerned with and what would be particularly useful material. Because one of the big things about collage, because it's so immediate, because you can move things around, is that you can hit on ideas that you never even thought of, just as you're walking around. So what you really want to do is to start thinking about your collage and have an eye open, be ready, be aware to spot those leaves, that piece of photography, that swatch of cloth that you'd like to put into the collage that's relevant to the sort of collage you're going to make. So obviously I mentioned you're going to have photographs. Now these would be cut out of magazines that you see, or they could be photographs that you yourself have taken, of course. And it's always a very good idea, if you're building up a collage, to have a little digital camera, could just be the camera on your mobile phone, to photograph those things that are going to go into the collage later. But don't forget that you can use lots of different materials as well. They might be the feather from your parrot, might be a bit of sponge, might be the back of a piece of canvas or material. And you can also create your own material as well by a technique known as frottage, where you take a particular surface and then you have a piece of comparatively thin paper, and then by rubbing over it, in this case the markings on the back of this case there create a pattern which you might then cut out with your scalpel or your craft knife or whatever and use within your collage. So all of these things, maybe print, the photos, the materials, the frottage, the bits of stuff from the garden, they all come together and you can organize them in a way that you find particularly exciting. But the big thing is that your materials have been chosen, and they were chosen because you were thinking about what you want to do. And also, one final point, remember that quite often fewer materials than you imagine can create a very powerful effect. So you may find that just editing it, just maybe 3 or 4 or 5 pieces of material are all you need for your collage. Or of course, you may well want a lot more than that. But whatever you do, you want to make sure that they adhere to the support properly. And the best thing to use is some kind of acrylic medium, which you can get from any art shop, which you can either pour like that, and it comes in a very fluid form, or you can also get acrylic gel, which you can then take out with a palette knife, spread along the back of the objects you're going to include, and then stick them down. So.